The Pittsburgh Steelers have opened the door to one serious splash, and they are crazy if they do not go out and make it. What's going on, everybody? I'm Noah Strackbine. Thank you for jumping on to Steelers to Go, your daily to-go cup of Pittsburgh Steelers news and analysis. Find us on youtube.com/All Steelers Talkers. Subscribe anywhere you get your podcast. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they are working through the offseason, preparing for the NFL Combine, and then emerging into free agency where there will be plenty of action. And this is not a team that is looking like someone that will sit around. This is not a poke the stick meme. This is not a typical Pittsburgh Steelers year. In years past, expectations were low, hopes were high, and letdowns happen. It seemed mild and mild again. And the year after, mild again. But this year does not seem to feel the same. It feels after 7 years without a playoff win, the Steelers have finally recognized, hey, look, changes need to be made. We need to adjust. It is adapt or die, and it is time to adapt. And therefore, they are open to splash. They are open to finding the success that they believe that they should have, and they are open to bringing themselves back to Pittsburgh Steelers football, winning football, back to the ways of which they dominated the NFL. And they understand that they are close, and truthfully, they probably are somewhat close. But there is one key missing component that they realize they do not have, that they are now open to going out and get. I have said it time and time again. I will continue to say it time and time again, that the Pittsburgh Steelers' best opportunity to go get a quarterback, a winning, successful quarterback, to change this franchise immediately and possibly long-term, is to go acquire Justin Fields from the Chicago Bears. I think that he has plenty of untapped potential. I get hated on every single time I say it because there are plenty of people out there who say we do not want Justin Fields. There is no need to go get a guy who has not had the success in Chicago that maybe Chicago should have. But I am not somebody who sold that Chicago should have much success at all. I'm not somebody who is sold that the Bears are a team that is worth winning. And to be totally honest, to finish where they finished, nearly an even record, much better than their first pick in the draft status shows, is all on their quarterback and the resilience of a kid who is definitely progressing. That kid is Justin Fields. And I've said it time and time again that is the Pittsburgh Steelers' best option if they are looking for a quarterback this offseason. Their second best option might be Kirk Cousins. Mason Rudolph is probably in that mix. There are potentially some names in the draft that you can go after, but a splash is needed if the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to take what they have and make it better. Complete their offensive roster, at least from a skill position standpoint, and say, look we are going to make the most out of George Pickens and Deontay Johnson and Najee Harris and Pat Freiermuth and Calvin Austin and our new offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith. Now, it kind of feels like somebody's listening. Or at least like the team has the same expectations that I have laid out in the past. Art Rooney said yesterday, while speaking with KDKA's Bob Pompiani, that the door is most certainly open for the team to make a trade for a quarterback. Quote, as we sit here early February, we're not closing the door on anything. We have a lot of evaluations to go through, and we'll go through all of those options and do what we need to do to be better this coming season. He said earlier in a group of local media that I was a part of that the next step is a quarterback, is quality quarterback play, just to go quote from quote. And sensed or said that there is a strong sense of urgency for Kenny Pickett to take a step forward. And the hope is that Kenny Pickett does take a step forward. And there's some expectation that he will, but he understands, and head coach Mike Tomlin understands as well, that the pressure is high and that Kenny Pickett has no more wiggle room. This is not a we'll wait and see opportunity in year 3. This is a we need a quarterback. Are you our quarterback? Maybe not. And the Steelers are approaching dangerous waters. But waters that you have seen before from other teams, not the Pittsburgh Steelers. Waters that you have seen from other teams and them go out and make a splash, and that splash is sometimes rather ginormous. The New York Jets are a prime example. And people will say, well, the Steelers would never trade for Aaron Rodgers. They wouldn't, unless they go out and get Kirk Cousins. I'm not saying it's the same, but I'm saying that that's a veteran quarterback that you believe you could go win a Super Bowl with. That's hands down somebody that you believe, well, we're going to pay a boatload of money because we believe that's the guy right there. The Steelers could make a splash that big. The New York Jets looked at it and said, Zach Wilson could be that guy. We hope Zach Wilson's that guy, but we need somebody now. The Steelers are looking at it and saying, Kenny Pickett could be that guy. We hope Kenny Pickett is that guy, but we need a quarterback right now. We have a team to win right now. We have the skill guys right now. We have TJ Watt right now. Minkah Fitzpatrick right now. Cam Hayward right now. We have an offensive coordinator that we don't think is going to be an offensive coordinator very long before he gets another head coaching job in the NFL. We need an opportunity right now. And they are very open to any possibility. It seems every step of this that we take, it feels more and more like Kenny Pickett will not be the starting quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers come week 1. And rather, it will be somebody that they believe, hey, look, this guy is going to win us games. Not maybe going to win us games. Not maybe going to take that step. We do not believe that, oh, he has the leadership and that is it. Football justice, as Mike Tomlin loves to say. No, it will be this guy has won in the NFL before. He will continue to win in the NFL. And we have the skill positions, the defense, and the offensive line, and now the play caller to make him win here in Pittsburgh. And he will win in 2024. That's where the Pittsburgh Steelers are headed. And I'm telling you right now, my name of choice still remains Justin Fields. I still think this kid can go out and win playoff games. I think he could be a total game changer in the right situation with the right play caller and the right offensive line, which the Chicago Bears have never had. And again, I get hate. Well, you get one good year out of this guy. Yeah, but you get one good year. And if Justin Fields is worth a second-round pick or a second and a third, you go out and you make that move and you don't even question it because there's no reason to question it. You look at that and you say, you will not get a Justin Fields in the second round. You will not get a Justin Fields in the third round. That is not something that's going to happen. You still have a first-round pick to go acquire some top-tier talent, and you don't have that many holes on this roster. Just the end of the day, you don't. You need some depth on the defensive line, but you could rely on Isaiah Loudermilk, and you could hope that Larry Ogunjobi continues to take steps forward and grow in this defense. You could hope that Cam Hayward has enough left in the tank. You can go get a corner in free agency and make a splash there because you still don't have to pay your quarterback because Justin Fields' fifth-year option is $6 million. That's as cheap as it gets. And then from there, I get it. You have decisions to make, giant decisions to make. But those decisions are a lot easier after you get a year knowing what Justin Fields is. The Steelers are going to sit here and they're going to look at this and they could say, yeah, okay, well, we could go pay $40+ million for Kirk Cousins. That could be an option. We could settle for Mason Rudolph. We could take no risk at all and say Kenny Pickett is our guy. You're not going to draft somebody because you're not going to draft somebody at pick 20 that is more valuable than Justin Fields. That makes absolutely no sense. Justin Fields is the most logical option. It is the option that you give up a good chunk, but not too much, in order to get a quarterback with a ton of upside, a quarterback that could change this organization. And there are a lot of people that are going to say, no, he won't. He probably will. He probably will. And then you see what happens in a year. But to take that chance, I think is pretty significant because I think any direction you go, Kirk Cousins is coming off an Achilles injury and he's 36 years old. Mason Rudolph has 4 good games under his belt. Cool. Maybe that works out for the best. Maybe it doesn't. Kenny Pickett is a giant question mark, and the quarterbacks in this NFL draft class are not as impressive as we once believed that they were. It just feels like there's risk everywhere. This is the quarterback position we're talking about. The risk will be high no matter what it is. You are dealing with the highest stakes on an NFL team. And maybe Justin Fields isn't the perfect, most ideal situation. But I think he's the least amount of risk with the highest amount of return. And man, if he does turn into something special, the Pittsburgh Steelers just landed themselves another franchise quarterback on a team that is already built to win. And that's exactly what they're looking for this offseason.